G'day guys, this week we are down at Crab Creek at beautiful Tin Can Bay. Now there's been a lot happening on the fishing front. Let's get stuck into it and see what you guys can catch this weekend. First up is the weather, guys. This week it has been northerlies and northerlies. We've had northwest and northeast nearly every day. Okay, the mornings haven't been too bad. A lot of the boaties have been getting out on that northwest in the morning, and then by the afternoon, by about lunchtime, that sea breeze has been kicking in quite strong. So this is going to continue. I can't see it changing over the next week, and this weekend is definitely going to be the same type of format. So get out early. If you're going on the water, get out early and get back early, and that's going to be the secret to having a great day. On the beaches, guys, whiting have been a staple on the lead up to the moon last week. We've seen some really good catches on Tiwa Beach, in both Inskip and Double Iron Point as well. Have been fishing really well for them. Live worms, light lines, and a little bit of patience has been key to success. Now, this week, with that northerly wind we've had, it has filled in a lot of the formations on the beach. So finding the fish is actually probably going to be a little bit easier. The reason being is there's going to be less gutters, so that narrows down where you're going to find those fish. There's also been some really good tar wine on the beach. A good tip for targeting tar wine is use Ugury or Pippies, as they're more commonly known. Okay, they tar wine absolutely love them, all right? So fish for them just like you're fishing for whiting, the same type of shallow water and shallow corners of those drains, but try using Ugury. You might surprise yourself because you can at times pick up snub-nosed dart that way as well. But another good target species this weekend to go and target on the beach. Barra. That's what's getting nailed in the Straits at the moment, guys, and there's a lot of people who are going absolutely barra crazy. Along with the barra, there's been some really good mangrove jack as well. Now, lures have been working well because it is starting to heat up. This little hot spell we're having at the moment is really getting the fish fired up, and it's well and truly worth trying to tie on some lures and go and chasing some now on surface, or possibly even some plastics to get a bit of lure action in. If you're looking for a feed of mud crabs in October, the crabs do start to taper off now, all right, as we get into November, which is historically the worst month in Queensland for crabs. However, if you want to go and target a feed of crabs, you will get them. You just got to work a little bit harder for them. The key to finding crabs in October and November is you've got to crab the areas that no one else has been, all right? You're catching the last of the season's crab before the new crab flood in the moons in December, and you really got to work that a little bit harder. So what I suggest to people is spread your gear out and try and think of spots or find spots that you think don't look that productive. There's a good chance that everyone else thinks the same and no one has actually crabbed that area or that spot. And if you put a pot in that area, you might just find you get lucky and get yourself a good crab. You're not going to get a great deal this time of year, but you're going to get enough for a few sandwiches or a feed, and they will be absolutely chock-a-block. What's happening on the island, guys? Well, number one, beach travel is pretty good. However, we are coming onto the neap tides now, meaning we have a less of a height difference between high and low tide. So if you want the best possible driving or traveling experience on the island, you really want to aim around that low tide mark, okay? Now, species-wise, there's been good whiting down the bottom of the island. There's still a few dewies getting caught around Pyungan and Yidney. There's been a few just north up near Indian as well. The other species, Tala, of course, is still in really good numbers. However, they have dropped slightly, but the size is definitely increasing. We're seeing fish now around the 60 and 70 centimetre mark, all right? And we should see that only increase in quality as we come into the next month, November and even December. So the good tip, if you want to chase big Tala, is start switching away from those gang hooks and pilly rigs and start moving to single hook or stinger rigs for Tala using flesh baits. Bonito, tuna and Tala flesh are the absolute go-to for big Tala baits. If you're thinking offshore this weekend, there's a few things to take note of. A, we're going to have some reasonably strong northerly winds. Now, they're going to be northwest in the morning, swing around to northeast in the afternoon over the weekend, and they're going to be in the vicinity of anywhere from 20 to 25 knots. So they're not light winds, okay? My suggestion would be, if you're going to play it safe, if you're going to go out offshore, is head north in the morning and get that tailwind of that northeasterly sea breeze. Come home at lunchtime, get it on your tail end and send you home on a nice ride home. The other thing, species-wise, there's been a lot of snapper. There's been good pearlies. We've had reds, we've had tuskies, we've had good Moses, and the pelagics have been exceptional, okay? The kingfish, I don't think I've seen so many kingfish in recent years, and it's probably a good reason why we've gone through so many jigs in the last week in store. If you're thinking about going offshore, drop in and see us before you hit the boat ramp at Tackle World Rainbow. See myself or the team, and we can load you up with all the info you need to go and target some good quality reefies offshore this weekend. Righto, what would I be fishing for this weekend? Definitely this weekend on the Neepy tides, I'd be going chasing 2 species. One would be mangrove jack. Little creek systems behind me, like Crab Creek at Tin Can Bay, has little patches of coffee rocks and logs and structure in it everywhere that jacks love. It's a pretty good place to get out of those northerly winds too, guys, and there's a great little boat ramp just here. You can launch your tinny and go and check it out and explore. The other species I'd be chasing this weekend is flathead. The neap tides, there's not too much movement, so you can go and troll some little hard bodies like your Xeric tango shads, or maybe some little samaki shallow divers, and go and target some nice flathead on the drop-offs of the banks. Guys, have a great weekend. I can't wait to talk to you next week. Good luck.